Blame for the bus bombing in Bulgaria last July, in which 5 Israeli tourists died, has now been firmly attributed to Hezbollah. The Bulgarian Foreign Affairs Minister detailed the results of the investigation by his security service to a recent meeting of EU Foreign Affairs Ministers.
Well, we still believe that the attack that happened in Burgas last year was organized by people who are connected to the military wing of Hezbollah. We will be working very closely with the Lebanese government and the authorities in Lebanon to make sure that we get to the bottom of this, because I think it's in the interest of both Bulgaria, Lebanon and Europe as a whole to reach a final conclusion on this investigation. And today I will brief the foreign ministers of the European Union on some of our findings and the direction of the investigation, as well as how we propose to take the debate inside the European Union. Obviously, we need to take measures to make sure that such activity does not go without consequences in the EU. No matter who is the organizer, no matter where it happens, we have a collective responsibility for that, and I hope that we will do the appropriate thing over the next few months.
Sajid Karim is the first Muslim to be elected a British member of the European Parliament, and he's an expert on the politics of the Middle East.
Well, I've just returned after having very high-level meetings in Lebanon. I met with the President, I met with the Prime Minister, I met with the Foreign Minister, and I met with the head of the armed forces as well. And it seems quite clear to me that when you have an organization like Hezbollah striking into our territory in the European Union, we've got to get serious about this. It's not that we haven't been serious about Hezbollah before, but in terms of prescribing them, it's on the agenda. It has to be part of the debate. But equally, on the other hand, when I'm in Lebanon and I'm speaking to the United Nations and other aid agencies, including the EU's aid delivery agencies working on the ground, they make it quite clear that Hezbollah is a big part of the dynamics in that part of the world. They hold power in certain parts of countries like Lebanon. And therefore, to cut them out entirely from the equation is something that they say will be counterproductive to the point that they simply will not be able to function within countries like Lebanon. So this is a balance that has to be struck. Quite where we draw the line is a matter that I'm sure many of our European heads of state are now concentrating their mind upon. My personal viewpoint is that yes, something now needs to be done.
So it's a question of real politics?
Oh, absolutely.
Some politicians say it would be counterproductive to ban Hezbollah.
Well, I think they are wrong, and the history proved us that they are wrong making this kind of calculation. And let's quote Winston Churchill, who said that an appeaser is the one who is feeding the crocodile, hoping that he will be eaten the last. And I think that's what they are doing. They are doing appeasement, and this terrorist organization is not the kind of group that you can make appeasement with them, because they just taking profit of the time to be bigger. And by the way, appeasing the Hezbollah didn't prevent the European Union to be severely and deadly beaten by this crocodile when they hit Burgas a few months ago, and when they killed 5 Israeli tourists and a Bulgarian bus driver.
There's a growing consensus amongst politicians here in Brussels that Hezbollah should be placed on the list of banned terrorist organisations. But whether that will happen soon remains to be seen. This is Colin Stevens for JN1 at the EU Council of Ministers in Brussels.